get closer. All right.
Fabulous. So everyone, this is Thomas Cheng. He is from Norwegian Cruise Line. He is the business development manager, and he is here this afternoon to give us some great information about Norwegian. I'm super excited to be working with him, super excited even more to hear what he has to say. So make sure you have pen, paper, your notebooks, whatever you take notes with these days. And let's give him our attention, okay? So Thomas, it is all yours. I have made you co-host. I think I should just make you host. So that you can completely take over the screen, right? That will be better.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna click share.
Okay, will it allow you?
Yes.
I'm gonna stop my share. Okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Perfect.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, well, thank you, Tony, and welcome everybody from Archer and Evolution Travel. My name is Thomas Cheng. I am the Business Development Manager in charge of Archer Travel. I am based in Los Angeles, so please pay in mind that when you contact me, I will be working during Pacific daylight time now. And my email is on here, tcheng@ncl.com. That would be the best way to reach me. Usually I'm out running around, but I usually will respond to an email within 48 hours. But let's get going. Let's see here. I'm gonna play a video. Hopefully it doesn't lag.
Norwegian Cruise Line, feel free.
So, sorry, I included that video just to give you a taste of really what we're about. We are a little bit different than your other average cruise line. Our target audience is for the active families and the younger folks. So between our average age, even with fleet and audience, is younger than our competition. If you look at this graph right now, across really our lines, you can see that our fleet age is an average of 9.5 years compared to the other age in the other fleet. So I'm going to jump around a little bit just because I like to start off really broad and kind of funnel in. And you probably have a lot of questions about, oh, what is Norwegian Cruise Line and how, what's so special about us? What is the advantage of selling Norwegian Cruise? And I'm going to get into that. But right now I want to talk about our fleet really quick, just so you have an understanding. And then I'll go into the details of our cruise styles a little bit after this this slide. So right now we have 16 ships currently sailing the world. We're adding a 17th, the Norwegian Encore, in November 2019. All right. Just really quick, we refurbish our ship. We try to keep the ship within 4 or 5 years before we have to dry dock them. And dry dock is usually a 2 weeks extensive renovation of the whole insides of the ship and also the outsides with the machineries and things like that. So just for your references, because I know on the previous page, if you saw the numbers, our oldest ship, the Norwegian Spirit, was made in 1998, but we just refurbished her 2 years ago. Looks brand new, and these are the other ships we have that are relatively newer compared to our competitors. So I think one thing you have to pay attention to when you put your clients onto a ship is when that ship is built and when was the last time an extensive renovation has been done to the ship. And Toni, I think you're drawing something on the screen.
No, that's somebody else doing on the screen. Can you guys please not touch the screen? I know that you guys are pointing to things, but please don't touch the screen. Thomas, I gave you complete control, so you would have to erase.
So let me see if I can delete that. Sorry, guys. Just see. So there you go. All right. Right. So very quick, I mentioned Norwegian Encore. That is going to be the newest ship that's coming into the fleet in November 2019 this year. And here's another short video. I promise I will stop with the video pretty soon. But this is just something, a lot of times, if you don't show a video, it's hard to explain with pictures. And this will really let you see what a Norwegian ship is all about, all right? So the next slide is going to be a video. All right. And sorry about that. Again, I usually don't show too much videos, but the last time I did it, my boss was like, Thomas, why aren't you showing the videos? We put a lot of effort into it, but I like my voices better, but who knows? Like I'm a little bit biased. But just, I'm going to roll really quickly, just kind of go over our ship, and I really will get into the meat of why selling Norwegian is the best choice for you. Just something moving on in the future. We are basically expecting a ship every year from 2022 to 2027. So Encore, we're going to have another ship Encore this year, and 6 other new ships in 2022, and it's going to be a little bit smaller than what we're making right now. But okay, so let me start over really. So why Norwegian? Norwegian Cruise Line, we are known to be the freestyle cruise. What that means is, you know, each ship has their own little model, the middle niche they're going for. For us, we're going after the freestyle cruisers. We have a totally flexible experience, and we have no assigned dining times. So if any of y'all have been onto a cruise ship, you know that the cruise ship will assign you and the clients a dining time and dining place. You know, you have to go to the main dining hall at 8 o'clock, sitting at table 43 with these strangers. And most of the time, they will ask you to be dressed in, you know, kind of like a formal attire. Now that's great for people who like that experiences, but for us, it's resort casual. We don't require you to wear a suit or a dress. You know, as long as you're not naked, you can wear whatever you want. All right. We have a lot of entertainment. We actually won the best entertainment at sea year after year. And earlier in the video, you see that on the newest ship, we're going to have Kinky Boots, which has won 6 Toni Awards. We also play Jersey Boys, Footloose. Really, the productions that we have on our ships are Broadway production level shows. It's one of the best out there, and we're very proud of what we have. We have a personalized experience each day, and the ships are built with, they're built for freestyle cruising. So I'm gonna go a little bit into, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Earlier I said we have no assigned dining times. And the reason why we can do it is most cruise lines out there, their ships are built with one central galley, so one kitchen. So when there's thousands of passengers on the ship, they are not able to cook for everyone at once, which is why they assign dining. So people, so they can accommodate all those meal requests. Now, a lot of cruise lines out there, they might have a section of their main dining hall, you know, cornered off and say, oh, this is our anytime dining. As long as there's a seat open, you can come here and dine anytime. But really, that's the same thing as assigned time dining, because if those seats are full, you have to come back at your assigned dining time. But for Norwegian Cruise Line, our ships are purposely built for freestyle cruising. So each of our restaurants have their own galley. They have their own kitchen. So as long as there's an open spot, you walk by, you can sit down, you can order, right? And we're not going to tell you, no, Toni, you have to come to the Manhattan room at 8 o'clock sitting here. You can sit anywhere you want as long as there's open seating. Okay, so that's really the most advantageous thing with Norwegian Cruise Line. Your clients are on a vacation. Why are they being told what to do and when to do it, right? Give me a second here. So a lot of people are asking, Thomas, who should I sell this product to? Do I sell these to the retirees? Do I sell it to the young family? Do I sell it to the solo travelers? Who do I sell Norwegian to? And we actually have a cruise product for everyone. And I'm not joking. I'll go into why in a little bit. But on this list right here, this is all your potential clients. So the luxury clients, the young couple, empty nesters, relaxation seekers. You know, they want to enjoy the ship. They don't want to. They're not just for the ports. All inclusive. They want their drinks, their food included. There's the solo travelers, active adults. Really, anyone, as long as anyone in the demographics, they are a fit for Norwegian Cruise Line. A little bit earlier, I talked about dining. We are actually, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings actually owns Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruises. So these three cruises are all in one brand, and that's Norwegian Cruise Line Holding. We have the best dining in the contemporary market, and that is actually something we've established for ourselves since 2014 when we bought Oceania. Oceania has been known to be the foodie cruise, right? They won the best dining year after year. When we absorb Oceania and Regents, we take the best of each brand and infuse them into each of our brands. So from Oceania and Regents, they learn about our entertainment value, our entertainment training. From Oceania, they taught every one of us how to prepare and show food. And Regents is service oriented. So they taught us how a ultimate six diamond cruise line should behave for clients. So just going really quickly, because I want this to end in an hour. I don't want to take too much of your time. Earlier, I mentioned about entertainment. We get our entertainment. These are Broadway production level shows. It's not just a little show we cooked up in the back of the kitchen. All right, this is award-winning shows. We actually go out and we purchase the rights and we train them in our performance centers in Miami. So we have, again, I mentioned earlier, we have Jersey Boys, Kinky Boots, you name it, we really have it. We also have some Cirque du Soleil shows. Really, there's something for everybody. Now I'm going to go into a little bit I'm going to show you more pictures of the cabins later, but we have cabins for every single travelers out there. So right now we're looking at the studio. Studio is single traveler. So they some of our ships we actually have studio cabins. They have their own private lounge, key card access only. They don't have to pay a single traveler supplement. So that's great because a lot of times we have that kind of clients who are really looking into, hey, I want to travel, but you know, it's last minute. I couldn't find a buddy. Do I really have to pay the single travel supplement? In Norwegian, we actually invented the studio traveler concept. Some of the other cruise lines are copying us now, but this is actually something we're really proud of. So this next slide shows you a little bit. This is a little bit smaller than the inside cabin. They are specifically designed and priced for a solo traveler. Full-size bed. They have their own restroom. Private lounge with continental breakfast, coffee, tea, wine, and happy hour mixer. So the people you meet on this single in the studio lounges, at least on the ship, they're totally single, right? You know, a lot of times when you're on a cruise and you want to hit up somebody and you're trying to see their hand to see if they're taken, you're looking around to see if the girlfriend or the boyfriend's around the corner. At least in the studio lounge, everyone's single there because you can only go in as a single traveler. They're available in our bigger ships. So it's listed here: Epic, Getaway, Joy, and Pride of America. We actually have a few of them. I'm going to talk about Pride of America later. Breakaway, Escape, and Bliss. This is great because, for example, just for reference, Bliss can fit 4,200 passengers. We only have about 50 studio cabins on the Bliss. So, you know, for the people who wants to make friends, this is a great place to be because, you know, you're going to be with 49 other singles. And, you know, of course, you can still explore the rest of the ship, but that area, the studio lounge is really a great place for you to get to know each other. Earlier, I mentioned we have a product for everyone. I'm skipping over our ocean view, balcony, and mini suites because those cabins are really similar across every cruise line. But we actually invented a ship within a ship concept with the Haven by Norwegian. So what this is actually, on top of most of our ships, we have a key card access area. It's about, for example, on our bigger ship, there's about 50 cabins. They're all butler service. They're all suites with balconies. They have their own lounge, their own sun deck, their own swimming pool, their own restaurants, right? So and this is key card access only. You have to be a Haven guest to be able to access this. So if you don't want to hang out with people like me, you do not have to, right? This is for the travelers who wants to enjoy the proximity, like the closeness of a small luxury ship, but wants the amenity offer in a big ship. When we took over Oceania and Regents, we did a survey and we asked them, hey, you know, for us, for Regents and Oceania, we are, you know, everyone loves us, but what can we do better? And a lot of times, these clients, these high-end luxury clients will tell us, you know, we love the ship, we love the service, but we just felt like your ship is so small, we don't have other options out there. You know, we don't have as many restaurant options, as many entertainment options, bars, you know, compared to the bigger ships. So we told ourselves, you know, that's an easy fix. Why don't we have a ship within a ship on top of our big mega ships? So we put the Haven on board. The guests, they're VIP guests. They do have VIP embarkation, disembarkation. Again, they have butlers and things like that. You know, this is, they can, when available, if they want, they can come down to the rest of the ship to watch the Broadway production shows, to enjoy the 20 different lounges, the 15 different specialty dining venues that we have. So it's a great product for everybody. This is really, now at this point, it's multi-gen, right? We have the grandparents who's paying for everybody, and they could be staying in the Haven, and the kids could be staying in the balconies, and the grandkids could be doing the studio and the inside cabin. So we have something, a price point for everybody. So the Haven, it's right now it's available in 10 of our ships. We are making some modification, and eventually they're going to be on all of our ships. But this is a great concept that we have. And I see that I forgot to mention earlier, if we have questions, I'll try to answer the questions in the end. So just so we don't interrupt the flow of things. Earlier I mentioned, I said I'm going to mention Pride of America. A lot of people ask me, Thomas, if I want to sell Norwegian Cruise Line, what is the #1 product that I should sell, right? And for cruise lines, a lot of times it's the itinerary that matters. And our Pride of America, the inter-island Hawaii sailings, is the most popular sailing we have. We are the only ones that do it. Because we are the only cruise line in the world with a U.S. flag ship. So what this means is this ship does not have to go into and out of an international port, and the clients can actually maximize their experiences for Hawaii. This ship goes out and comes back to Honolulu on round trip. It's a 7-day, 4-island itinerary. They're in port for 100. We're in port for over 100 hours. Our competitors, they do 14, 16 days trips to go to Hawaii. They're in port for 60 hours, and that's because their ship is not U.S. flagged. So for clients, who want to make a once-in-a-lifetime trip into Hawaii, and they don't know which islands to go to, Pride of America is the right product for you to introduce to them, because, hey, you see every single island, you overnight in the islands, and you have to tell them, a lot of parts of Hawaii are actually not accessible by foot, right? So you either have to fly over in a helicopter, or you see it from the coast with the ship, for example, the Nepali coast. So if the client asks, what is the one thing I need to do in Hawaii, you should tell them it's the Pride of America, and we're the only ones that's doing it. So here's a video on Pride of America. Oh yeah, and by the way, this sailing is available every week, 52 weeks out of the year. So this is something to sell all year long. And I want to mention all the videos I show here today is available on YouTube in our official channel, Norwegian Cruise Line. So if you want to post this on your Facebook, you could. And it really draws our ads, our videos can really draw a lot of attentions. And I do have a lot of agents who I see in the comments when they share these videos, they have clients reaching out and say, hey, call me, I want to go here. You have to be front and center for your clients to let them know, hey, there are vacations like this out there, and you have some videos to show them, right, and some information. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep going. I want to mention really quick, we do have all-inclusive ships. So I'm going to talk about our promotions a little bit later, but on our Norwegian Sky and Sun, those are the 3 to 5 day sailings out of Miami or Fort Lauderdale. The alcohol is actually included in the ship price already. So for example, here it says balcony from just $449. So on the Norwegian Sky, on the 3-night cruise to Cuba or to the Bahamas, drinks are already included. Cuba is one of the cruises that one of the ports we recently opened up to, and which is one of the reasons why we want people to go. A lot of people are hesitant, thinking, oh, it's, you know, I'm not sure if I want to go there when there's so many other itineraries that's equally interesting. So we are actually kind of incentivizing people to go to Cuba. So that's why the Sky and the Sun were offering all-inclusive alcohol. But it's still a great trip. You know, we're just doing it because we want to bring awareness out there, saying, hey, Havana is actually a very, very interesting cruise to go into. And we are actually the only cruise line right now that overnights in Havana. Havana, it's, of course, is a nighttime city, so you really do need to stay there overnight. Something really new, which just came out last year for us, we started sailing out of New Orleans. So if you have clients close by that's in driving range, this is something really great to push them on. We have the newest ship out of New Orleans, newest and the biggest. And we have the Norwegian Bliss and the Joy sailing Alaska this year in the summer. And it's funny, when I came into the cruise industry, there's my boss told me an inside joke. He said, Thomas, the inside joke in the cruise industry is West Coast is where ships come to die. So if you actually, and the reason why he said that is the average age of the ships that cruise line put here, they're very, very old. So the next time when you're going to book a Mexican Riviera or a Pacific Coastal or the Alaska itinerary, double check the ship's age for any cruise line. Cruise lines only put their smallest and oldest ship on the West Coast. We wanted to change that perception, so we actually put the Bliss and the Joy, which are two of our newest ships, on the West Coast. And we're bigger and we have more amenities than our competitors doing Alaska. And I think we're going to get another video. I'm sorry for the amount of video, but sometimes pictures is was worth 1,000 words, right? Yeah, so both the Bliss and the Joy they do have go-kart racetrack on top of the ship, so that's something for the kids. Very, very excellent entertainment for the clients. And on the Joy, and also earlier on the Encore video, you saw that we have some virtual reality playground things. So we do have F1 simulator, car simulator, roller coaster simulator. a lot of fun things to do. So for the kids who, they don't quite enjoy nature yet, they don't understand, wow, this is beautiful. They can stay on board the ship and enjoy the entertainment. The parents can go out and actually treat themselves to a good time. So actually, I want to mention, so you're probably thinking, Thomas, why are we having a water slide for a ship that's going to Alaska? Well, that's because after the Alaska season, the Joy is actually going to come down to Los Angeles during the Mexican Riviera year-round, outside of the Alaska season. So you actually have other options to present to your clients, when they're asking, hey, I'm going to vacation in Los Angeles. What are my cruising options out there, right? You actually can give them a new option, Norwegian. That's otherwise you're stuck with the older ships that the other lines have out here on the West Coast. We also have Starbucks on board. They are legit Starbucks stores, so they can your clients can use their gift cards for Starbucks. Something new for Norwegian Bliss, Joy, and Encore is we actually have a 30,000 square foot lounge area for everyone to enjoy. So this is free, and there's a bar in there. We actually have snacks and drink fountains, so clients can actually go there and enjoy the views of Alaska and the Mexican Riviera for free. It's 2 decks high. It's wonderful. You have to really be there to feel how big, how expensive this space is. And this is one of the most popular public area that the clients can enjoy. And just because people stay indoors, sometimes it gets very cold in Alaska, and even in the summer it could snow. So that's a great way for them to see Alaska. Earlier I mentioned we have entertainment. So on the Bliss we have Jersey Boys, they're the headliners, and we have Footloose for Joy. And of course we have some other smaller Broadway shows, but these are the 2 most famous ones that we have. So I am gonna go over some of the rooms, the pictures. This is spa mini suites, and they just have, when you buy a spa mini suites, you have access to the spa. Earlier you probably saw what our spa looked like when I was showing the video for the Alaska destination. There was a picture of a couple of our guests in the spa room, the thermal spa room. So this room is actually very close to the spa. We have a lot of balconies on the Bliss and the Joy. They range from sizes, just because, hey, there are rooms for just 2, and then we also have the one with the bunk beds coming out coming from the wall. So the rooms changes a little bit, but we do have various sizes of balconies going from 200 square foot to 425. Here's a picture of the balcony. Ocean view. This, it's a cabin. It goes from 160 to 372 square foot. I usually don't recommend ocean view just because, hey, for just a little bit more, you can go to a balcony. And here's the inside. It looks very similar. The size is very similar. The ocean view just had an extra window. And earlier, there was a picture of the studio. This is but that picture is studio from, I believe, the Norwegian Epic. This is the studio room in the Bliss. 100 square foot accommodates 1. And really, this is a nice enough size for any single traveler that they could utilize. So here's another picture. Am I boring you guys? I'm sorry if I am, but sometimes you just have to dig really deep on these informations. I promise usually I'm more fun in person. It's just hard to show that using a webinar tool. But I want to mention Norwegian Joy, a little background story. This ship was made in 2017. She was in service in China. but we decided that, hey, we will actually, she will be better utilized if we bring her to the West Coast. So last July, we announced that, all right, the Joy is coming back to the States, and she's going to do Alaska, which means that we have less than a year to sell Alaska itinerary on the Joy. So right now, if you go on to our website or our booking tool, the Joy is significantly cheaper than the Bliss, even though they're technically the same ship. The Bliss and the Joy, they're sister ships. They're made 1 year apart. And Joy will actually be brand new because when she's coming over here, we're doing a $50 million renovation on the ship. We're going to Americanize her, so she's going to be brand new. So if you want to find a good deal on a brand new mega ship for your clients, the Joy is the ship to choose. So Bliss is also doing the Alaska itinerary. Just be sure some of the itineraries do not have Glacier Bay, and that's because you can only fit so many ships into the bay, and on certain sailings, we just didn't get the entrance there. So pay attention, and the price point might be a little bit different because of that. We also have another ship called the Norwegian Jewel. It's one of our smaller size ships, about 2,000 passengers. Joy and the Bliss, they are 4,000 passengers, so Jewel is half the size. She does northbound and the southbound. And I keep talking about Alaska because right now is the season to sell Alaska. Summer is coming right around the corner. It's right after tax season. People are planning their next vacation. And Alaska is a seasonal cruise, and it's only open in the summer. So now is the time to push Alaska to your clients. We actually do have land tours. So for Hawaii and Alaska, we have pre and post land tours that can enhance the cruise for your clients. And you get a 10% commission on those land tours. So that's really a nice way for you to augment your clients' experiences and also your wallet, right? And this is actually pictures I took going to Alaska, part of the land tour. I was on the plane going to Mount Denali, that's a picture on the right, the tallest mountain in North America, and we landed on a glacier 10 miles below the peak, and that's where on the left-hand side, that's where we landed. And it's an amazing sight. And actually on the land tour in Fairbanks, I saw the Northern Lights. So this is a picture of it. It's crazy in the city, and we saw Northern Light. Now, if your clients want to see the Northern Light on the Alaska itineraries, you have to choose the later one at the end of the season in September, because during the summer it's daylight most of the times. You're not going to see the Northern Lights. Something really new for those of you who sent a lot of clients to Miami, we are building our own terminal, and it will be operational this fall. We're very excited because finally it means we don't have to share it with other cruise lines, and it could expedite your check-in and check-out process. We also have our own parking lot. It will make your clients' travel experiences so much better. Another picture of the terminal. I'm just a little bit worried. There's so much glass. We probably are going to blast a lot of ACs just to keep everyone cool. But this looks like a very, very nice space. I want to talk about our group experiences. So shame on me. I think I forgot to put our free SE promotions slide here, and that's my fault. But later on, well, let me talk about it right now, really quick. We are known for our free SE promotions. So we have 5 free SE promotions, which is the beverage package, specialty dining package, shore excursion credit, Wi-Fi, and 3rd and 4th sail free. Depending on the categories your clients book, that's, if it's an inside cabin or a studio, they can choose one pick. If it's an ocean view, balcony, and a mini suite, they can choose 2 picks. If they're booking in the Haven or Suite, they can get all 5 picks. So that's a great way to bundle your fares. You know, if you're buying in the sailway rates, which is guaranteed cabins, they do not get the promotions. But a lot of people choose the promotions because, hey, they can get the beverage package. They can get the specialty dining package. It really increases your clients' experience. And also because when they bundle, the fare goes up and your commission cut gets bigger. So let me talk about groups really quick. Speculative groups. Speculative groups are combinable with all of our current promotions that's ongoing right now. You can FIT them in. So let's say you book 5 cabins and you think, oh, hey, I can make a group out of this. You can go ahead and make a group and move those 5 cabins in. The first 8 cabins, you don't have to put a deposit down to block the space. And the standard tour conductor rate is 1 TC for every 16 berth. So one tour conductor credit for every 8 cabins. So that's 1 person tour conductor, right? So berth. It's not towards cabins, towards the person. We recall the space at 120 days prior. Our final payment days is a little bit further away than our competitors. Most of our competitors do final payments 90 days ahead of selling dates. We do 120s. But then we pay out commission right when we receive final payments. So you do get paid earlier. You don't have to wait till sailing to actually receive a commission check. I mentioned first 8 cabins is free for deposit, and a $25 per cabin is required for deposit. So a lot of things to go for groups. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. But I do want to mention this really quick. We do have another group program. It's called the Affinity Group Program. It's the best program in the industry. Depending on what your clients book, they get up to $500 onboard credit. They get 1 TC for every 10 berths sold. So earlier, speculative group, they get 1 TC for every 16. For Affinity group, they get 1 TC for every 10 berths. So that's 5 cabins. They get 1 tour conductor credit. And then they get to choose 2 perks. So Affinity group program doesn't apply to current promotions. So right now, if we do like all 5 perks for balconies, it does not apply to Affinity group program, but it does have other perks. They can choose 2 perks from the list below. The beverage program, specialty meal dining, Wi-Fi packages, shore excursion. They can do a group cocktail party. We also do vow renewal, complimentary photo package. There's also the onboard credit or fundraiser or bonus commission. And each cabin can choose their own 2 perks. You're probably wondering, Thomas, what's so good about booking perks, booking into Affinity group? One, well, there's 3. One of them, you get onboard credit, and it's the same. It's going to be the same rate as when you book FIT and into the speculative group. Number 2, the TC credit is 1 TC for every 10 berths. Industry standard is 1 for 16. Right here, it's 1 for 10. And number 3, you can choose 2 perks. So if you remember earlier, I mentioned if you book an inside cabin or studio, you can only get 1 free SE promotion. But if you book them in a group setting, they can get 2 promotions from the list, and this list is bigger than the 5 free SE perks we usually push. Now you're probably wondering, Thomas, what's the catch-22? The catch-22 for Affinity Group is we actually ask for a deposit right when you block the group. So it's for the travel agent who's very serious. Of course, the deposit is refundable, but we want a commitment for you. And we find that if you put a deposit down, it is more likely that you'll actively go out there and try to sell this sailing to your clients. It is $50 per cabin to block the group, starting at cabin number 1. But I think this is a program that's well worth it. And again, the deposit is refundable. We actually do a lot of specialty groups, and we can really handle anything you need. Let's say you have a reunion group, you have a wedding group, you have a vow renewal group. We can do that for you. If you have guests with disabilities, we actually have a special department that handles that for you too. So really anything you can think of, you want to do a bingo group, anything like that, like a chess club group, and you need a block space, we can always block space for you for free. So, you know, if you're thinking about groups, Norwegian is the place to be. Really quick here, this is our agent portal. This is the screen you will see. Just pay attention to the left-hand corner, NCLU. I'm going to go into NCLU a little bit, but this is probably one of the most important buttons you can know here. The second most important button is NCL Help. So if you're looking at the same screen, it is the second to the last ribbon on the pink column, NCL Help. If you have any questions about Norwegian, you click into it. It's basically the Google of Norwegian Cruise Line. If you call us or if you call me and there's a question I don't know, that's actually where I go to find the answer. So let's say you want to know how much a prepaid service gratuity is per day. That's where you find it. Let's say you want to find out if which category in balcony is connecting, or which category is wheelchair accessible. You can all find that in NCL Help. And the second column, marketing headquarters, you can find every single thing really imaginable here. You can go on here, you can create a quick promotional email to send to clients, or a quick promotional flyer to print out within 5 minutes. You just put your own name, your phone number, and we have everything pre-made for you with pricing and everything. So you can do that in the marketing headquarters. You can also order brochures. You can order brochures for free and we'll mail it to you. So that's something really important. Again, it's free, right? You don't have to call Joe at R.A.W. You don't have to email me to get brochures. You can go on here and get your own brochures anytime you want. And you can also get a lot of images in the images library for you to use. And any image you find here, you can use. You don't have to worry about copyrights or anything like that. We also have weekly webinars hosted by our executive team. You can take a listen. And so here on the blue column, you probably see TA reduced rates. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. But this is where you would book agent rate too. So NCLU, remember how I mentioned the top left pink column? NCLU is the most important column because that is where you learn about Norwegian Cruise Line. And we actually give you a distinction when you go through the educational module. You started out as a associate degree, and when you're an associate, you get 15% discount off fleet-wide sailings. And it can go all the way up to a PhD. When you reach PhD for the first time, you get a free cruise for 2. And then you also get a 30% agent discount on future cruises. So definitely something to look into. Very easy educational modules. Take an hour, 2 hours of your time over the weekend, while you watch Saturday Night Live, go into NCLU and learn about Norwegian and try to get to a PhD, right? And it's going to be worth your time. Earlier I mentioned you can create your own in marketing headquarters. You can create marketing materials, anything you can think of, really. You can order your own brochures. There's e-brochures available. You can create your own flyers that we have the itinerary map ready for you. So you can use it and send it to your clients. Take you less than 5 minutes. I'll talk about current promotion really quick. Right now, ongoing, we have the free at sea promotion. So I mentioned we have 5 free perks. That's the beverage program, the unlimited open bar, shore excursion credit. That's $50 per port. Specialty dining, guest 1 and guest 2, they both get 3 meals in the specialty dining room That's unlimited appetizers, unlimited dessert, and 1 entree each. There's the Wi-Fi package, which is 250 minutes. And friends and family sell free. That's actually the 3rd and 4th guest in the same room. So that's very important. It's 3rd and 4th in the same room, not in a different room. You know, they don't sell in a different room for free. They have to be in the same room. And on selective cruises, we actually give free or reduced air as long as you book Ocean View and above. There's a lot of fine prints into that, so that's why I didn't post the full detail here. But if you're receiving my weekly email, information will be on there. And actually later I'm going to show you a picture of our weekly, my weekly email. Okay. I'll talk about the all-inclusive cruises that we sail, the 3 to 5 day Bahamas and Cuba cruises. So remember earlier I mentioned the Sky and the Sun going to Cuba. That's ongoing. And of course we have the Hawaii beverages. And I just noticed I didn't change the picture for this one. This is actually choose up to 5 free perks. This slide is about, I really need to update this picture, but it's 5 free perks. On selective, before you can pick free or reduced air as one of the free at sea offers, but we've since changed that, and it actually comes automatically now if it's on the eligible sailing, so you don't have to waste a pick. So why Norwegian should be a partner? Free at sea, so we are really the only cruise line in the contemporary space that bundles our promotions, right? So we add the beverage program, we add the specialty dining program into the fare. So when the fare is higher, you get a higher commission. You know, for example, let's say you book on, let's say X Cruise Line. At X Cruise Line, when your clients are booking the beverage package, you're not actually getting a cut from that beverage package they order because that's additional add-ons they chose, right? But if you book through Norwegian, because we bundle the fare, when they choose the, you know, the fare itself already kind of included the beverage prices. So if your clients really like to drink and you're talking to them and, you know, like, Thomas, I know you love to drink. Why don't you choose Norwegian? They have this free at sea program where you can choose the beverage program. You choose it and they say, yes, Toni, book me into that cruise. And when you book into it, you choose the beverage program for them, right? So they think they got a good deal, which is a good deal because our beverage program is actually $100 a day per person plus gratuity, and that's 20%, right? So they're probably thinking, okay, if I buy this program, I basically got 120 times 7, $980 per person of saving. So they're happy, but you're also happy because your commission is higher because the fare is higher, right? You know, again, bundling. That's how we play the game. We bundle our fare. Your clients get the added value, and you get the added commission. Partner first commitment. So since we became a public company, we're putting travel agent first. Any fare, really, if you find on NorwegianCruiseLine.com, NCL.com, you can book it at your fare, at your, you know, for your clients. If your client sees a price, they call you and say, hey, you know, I just saw that Norwegian Cruise Line is running a free at sea promotion. You know, can you do that? You say, yes, I can. That's actually something I could do. The only thing I'll really watch out for is the OTAs. A lot of times the OTAs will put, for example, I got this funny call last week about how an agent calling me frustrated because Expedia is offering $1,000 onboard credit for her client, $1,000 onboard credit for inside cabin on Norwegian Cruise Line, right? And when I heard that, I'm like, there's no way we offer $1,000 onboard credit because inside cabin per person is not even $1,000, right? How are we giving them $1,000 onboard credit? But then she's like, Thomas, but it's right here on the screen, you know? So what I did was I clicked into Expedia and I priced out the fare. And when I click on to the terms and conditions of Expedia, they actually say, oh, you get $1,000 on board credit if you spend $10,000 in fares, right? So I told the agent then, hey, you didn't read the terms and conditions. Your clients didn't read it either. If you look at it, you'll see that for inside cabin, what Expedia is offering is actually $100 on board credit. But guess what? If you look at Expedia's price is actually $100 more expensive than the Norwegian Cruise Line price, right? So you can offer the same thing to your client too. You can say, hey, look, Expedia is charging you $100 more expensive. It's $100 more pricier than what I would have charged, and then giving you $100 on board credit. I can do the same thing. So a lot of times the OTAs, they play around with the wordings, and I would ask you, you know, just not even with Norwegian, but with any travel product you sell, a lot of times the OTAs, they're promoting their product by marking them in a higher price and then kind of giving it back to the client. So you just have to do your homework and tell your clients, hey, look, this is how Costco is playing it. This is how Expedia is playing it. They're charging you more and then giving you back the credit. I could do the same too, right? So again, something I noticed in the travel industry. So going back to Norwegian, why Norwegian should be a #1 partner? Because I just gave you all those tips for free. You know, how to sell cruise lines and really travel products when you're competing against the online travel agencies. And again, I mentioned earlier, we have the youngest fleet at sea. We have the best food. We have the best entertainment. And, you know, of course, this is all something you can look online. Go to Cruise Critic, go to TripAdvisor, and see for yourself. Do some research on why Norwegian, you know, why it's true when I say we have the best food and we have the best entertainment. And also the best affinity group program in the industry. I challenge you to find another cruise line that gives you 1 TC for every 10 berths. You're not going to find one like that, like us. All right. And that's it. Thank you. I'm so sorry this took almost an hour and it's a little bit boringer than I like to be, but because I'm told there are some newer agents, so I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and you know, and that's why. So Toni, that's it for me. Should I look at some questions if we have any?
Yes. And you were far from boring. They were in the chat box going crazy there. This is awesome. I love it. Can't wait to go on a cruise. They were going crazy in the chat box. So you were far from boring. Thank you so much for your time. If you would like to answer some questions, maybe you could take a couple questions. I did see some things pop up a little bit. This is recorded to you guys, so we'll have it available for you to look at. But if you have a question, they're all clapping and applauding and saying thank you. So you're not going to see the questions because they're on the other chat.
Yeah, they're going so fast.
I know they love it. Well, we got up to 286 people that were actually online participating, 286 agents. So I'm sure your inbox is going to go crazy, Thomas. People trying to book for. I love that. I love it. So if you guys have a question real quick, let's take a moment. Thank you for tuning in the middle of your day. We really appreciate it. Let's take a couple seconds and see a question or two that you might want to ask Thomas.
Yeah, I see Sharice asked that.
If you have a question, pop it in the chat box so that we can see it, okay?
Great. And Sharice actually has a question. Once you complete the PhD training, is there a deadline to redeem the cruise? Yes, there is a 1-year deadline, but what happened is we usually extend it if you cannot redeem the cruise. So I haven't heard of anyone that we haven't extended to, as long as it's within reasons, right? So, you know, let's say you completed 5 years ago and then suddenly ask me, Thomas, can you extend my PhD? That's a little bit too late. But if you let's say you completed a PhD today, and then next year on March 14th, you say, Thomas, can I have more time? It's been a busy year. Then I could extend it, but within reasons, right? So Sherry, that's a very good question. Thank you. Amanda has a question. For the TC, does it include taxes, or do they have to pay taxes separate? That's a very good question. For TC, it does not include the taxes, so they do have to pay taxes separate. Let's see here. Do we have my info again? So my info, I'm going to type it out. My email is tcheng@ncl.com. I actually have email. I prefer email more, just because, for example, I had 3 phone calls coming to me when I was on this webinar, and no went to voicemail. And this is what I do. I'm out in the field very often, so email is the best way to reach me. Any inspections in Alaska? We actually, I prefer not to do inspections in ports, but if you are, let's say if you are in a port that we sail out of and you want to see the ship, we can arrange that. I actually, I could do it. You just have to send me the ship name, the date when it's in port, your government ID number, so that could be your driver license number or your passport number, and your sex, and I could arrange that for you. I do ask for a 1-month leeway for me to send the application in, so that's actually something we can do. And that will be a self-inspection really, so usually you would go from the crew entrance and you'll get to see the ship, usually not the rooms. If you want to see the rooms, a Norwegian sales rep will have to be present. So on my weekly, on my weekly email, I will list the current ship inspection I'm hosting. And actually, this reminds me, Toni asked me to mention this, so I am going to mention this. You guys can still see my screen, right, Toni?
Yes, we can still see your screen.
All right, great. So right now we are doing a Giving Joy promotion. So we are actually giving 15 teachers free cruises, and you can really just Google Norwegian Giving Joy promotion. And what that is I've heard that some of you are teachers. You can actually nominate an educator or yourself to be part of this promotion. And I'll show you what. So you nominate a teacher. Oh, actually, no. And you vote for them. And the 15 top votes will get to go on the cruise for Joy for free. So just to give you an example of who submitted it. So Nicole Conlisk, submitted her information and says, my name is Nicole, and I have been an NYC public school teacher for the last 12.5 years. In 2018, at 28 weeks pregnant, I was diagnosed with a stage 3 breast cancer, and she's fighting the cancer, right? And that's her story. And she published her submission, and currently she's number 1. She had 2,400 votes, so it's very likely that she'll win this giveaway. So you look through it. There, second place, Noelle, she had 1,000 votes. So this is actually a relatively new promotion that we just established. So you can definitely look into that. You can vote for Nicole, or you can vote for yourself, or any educator in your life. You can submit them, share them on Facebook, and vote for them. It's a really nice signs of appreciation. And I also mentioned I want to let you guys see my weekly news email. So every Tuesday.
My
as long as you're ready.
I don't know if
Sorry?
everybody. My screen is showing the thank you screen. Do you guys see the thank you screen, or do you see what he's talking about? What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing the thank you screen? Yeah, everybody is seeing the thank you screen right now.
Oh, my apologies. Wow. All right. Let me see here. I got a new share. Ah, there you go. Okay. I got to press new share.
Okay.
So do you see it now? The thank you screen, or the share, the Norwegian joy screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so giving joy, 15 teachers and 15 gifts of joy. I'm sorry. So this, yeah, so you can Google this. And this is what I mentioned earlier, cast your vote. So if you organize this, so this is, I actually voted for Nicole. Very moving story. Oh, someone's drawing on it. That's not nice, guys. Here, I will erase this. So something to pay attention to, but you know, just something to mention if you wanted to take advantage. I want to share a new screen. Let me share. I thought I could just Tab, but I guess I couldn't. I want to show you this. So as long as you register with Norwegian Cruise Line, so I believe you have to contact R.A.W to have your profile set up. They'll give you a username and a password. You'll be automatically enrolled in my email list. Every Tuesday, I send out an update, just kind of going over what's happening with Norwegian and some of the promotions we have going on. If you're already registered and you are not receiving my email, it could be because your spam inbox or your firewall was bouncing back our emails, and then we had to remove you from the list. If that's the case, shoot me an email. I will put you back onto the email list. But make sure you have a profile created already, or make sure to check your spam or trash box to see if you're already receiving an email. And the title of the email would have been Thomas's Lowdown. And then it will be every Tuesday state. So I send that out every Tuesday. So for example here, you know, I mentioned in the email, we're changing the promotion on March 13th. And then I hinted it's vital to lock in the current pricing with deposit before March 13th, because when I say that, it means we're raising price. Okay, so next time when you see something like, hey, put your deposit down now, it's because we're changing price. I will list the current promotions. I will also list 5 very interesting sailings that I think will sell very well, that's with a good price. So I always list at least one Pride of America, Joy. I did a European round trip from Rome. There's Dawn, this is the Greek Isle. There's the Western Med. And also actually here, since you guys are on this email, this is the email I'm planning to send out next week on Tuesday. I'm still working on it, but I've actually opened up a Bliss inspection on April 14th out of Los Angeles. So this email will be live on Tuesday and you can register. I do want to say there is an $18 registration fee. That's just something the company asked me to do. I know most cruise lines out there do not charge, but in our case, we do. And there's no way to go around it. I wish it's different, but you know, a policy is a policy, and I'll follow the rules. So if you want to see me and see the new ship out of San Pedro, Port of San Pedro in Los Angeles, that's something you can register for on April 14th. I also included some information, some links. I talked about the marketing tools. I talked about it earlier, the group program. I also, just a lot of good information. I know it's a little bit longer than most people would like, but I only send this one email out a week. So, if you're stuck in traffic, well, don't check your phones in traffic. But if you're waiting for something in the waiting room, this will be a good email to kind of just glance over to see what's new. And usually, I will put the most updated information on the top over here. All right. Let me go back. Let me see. Sorry. I'm gonna go back to the thank you. Excuse me here. Sure. Apologies. I'm gonna share. So, okay, I'm gonna go back to the questions. So let me just go back to the questions. I know we have a lot of thank you. And sorry about the confusion. I didn't really see the group chat while I was rambling on, so I'm sorry. Give me a second here. All right. The first question, the only question I can see, question from Naisha, is the percentage off for completing each education levels for booking for clients or for our own personal cruise. The travel agent discount is for your own personal cruise, not for your client, not for your clients. So that's a good question. Is there a separate BDM for the East Coast? So that's a very good question. The way Norwegian Cruise Line is set up is that the BDM, your BDM is the BDM that's for your agency. And since Archer Travel, Evolution Travel is registered in Los Angeles, I am your BDM. If you track down other BDMs in the East Coast and they know you're from Archer Travel, they will just pass you back to me. I'm sorry that's how it works, but that's the only way for us to track the agencies, the agents. Okay. Well, we have a lot of questions. Can any of the, sorry. Can you guys still hear me? Because my internet just broke down.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, but my screen just died. Okay.
Uh-oh. Okay, it looks like he might be having some technical difficulties, you guys. Can you hear me? Okay, so we'll wait and see if he can come back on. It looks like he might have had a couple of technical difficulties. I saw the screen say something about internet unstable a couple times, but I'm super excited. Who is excited about selling NCL? Me too. Yes, yes, yes. Who is excited about selling NCL to yourself? Who wants to be your own client, right? The ships are beautiful, the rooms are beautiful, the food looks delicious. Everything looks like something that I would definitely want to experience myself. So I know for sure my clients will want to experience it too. So I'm really excited. You guys have Thomas's information. So if you have questions, shoot him an email so that he can answer those questions for you for sure. In order to log into NCL, you do have to get registered through Archer. So make sure you go to your Travel Cafe, you get your supplier request form. And when you get that supplier request form, just go on there and request your passwords for NCL, okay? So super cool, you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on. Thomas's computer might have been, dead for the day. It is Friday. The computer's like, hey, it's Friday. I'm ready to go home. So I'm really excited, you guys. Shoot him an email. Tell him thank you. Let him know that we appreciate him. And we'll go ahead and end this, okay? If you have other questions, go ahead and send them there. I will make this recording available for everyone. It'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel. So make sure you are a subscriber on the YouTube channel, Toni Queen Raw Ward. All of the stuff will be uploaded, so you can always go there and get anything and everything that I do. It will be there, okay? So thank you guys so much. I'll see you at the bank and at the beach, and hopefully I will see you on a Norwegian Cruise Line near you. Okay, you guys? Have a good day. I love you all. Bye, everybody.